We're starting in Supta Baddha Konasana because it really opens the lower pelvic floor area as well as the upper chest. So, I'll give you a chair. So you can either go on your core blocks or bolster. Core blocks are a more advanced place because they are going to give you a little more feedback. Or you can use a bolster. Sitting over a bolster is a softer ride. So choose your ride. Choose your happy place. Easier ride is on the bolster. Using the strap or not. Supporting the outer legs. Bringing the blanket so that the ears are connected to the shoulders. Or on the core block, so we're just bringing those feet together into Baddha Konasana, pressing through the heels, pressing through the outsides of the feet, allowing the breath to start to lead the effort if you can. So slow, deep breaths. That's the ticket, allowing the breath to start to move freely through the body. So if you have neck issues, this is particularly important. Think about lifting through the armpit chest, the center and back body, through that inhale. But also lift through that armpit chest and center chest through your exhale, as you allow the breath to travel down through the pelvic floor and out through the sits bones. So feel the armpit chest lifting on both the inhale and the exhale. Feel that upper thoracic spine start to open and lift into extension. Lower ribs drop towards your hips, pressing through those heels. See if you can open your knees. So just allowing the breath to lead the effort part of that early initiation into your yoga practice. Trying to allow the breath to lead, allowing each moment to unfold into the next. Try not to rush your breath. Try to enjoy your breath. Feel the breath as that natural source of energy inside the body. Allow the breath to lead the effort. As you deepen that breath now, let's start to feel the exhale. So we feel and follow where the breath is in the body, focusing in particular on lengthening your exhale. Feel how tension naturally leaves the body in this part of the breath. So participate in that effort to lengthen the breath and let go of whatever it is you no longer need through that exhale, letting go of tension, allowing the body to soften at the end of that exhale. Making room for something new. So notice how as you soften the body, you can receive an even deeper inhale, making that exhale just as important, just as long as the inhale, feeling that tension leave the body. Take the hands to the elbows and reach the elbows up and overhead. So dropping the lower ribs to the hips, feel the hips lift to the lower ribs. So anchor your sits bones in the center of the buttocks. Feel the buttocks and sits bones scoop in and under. Feel the lower ribs drop to those hips. Feel the armpit chest start to open and widen from the center out to the sides. So everybody breathe a little more deeply now. Allow yourself to breathe. Create a sound if you need to, but give yourself that permission to let go of that shallow breath and start to bring something new and interesting through that energy. That new life that comes through the inhale, leaving and letting go of the past on that exhale, feeling the joy of the present. Elbows back down. Let's change the clasp with the hands to the elbows. Reach the elbows up and overhead. So drop those lower ribs down. Feel the hips reach up to the lower ribs. So scoop your pelvis. Feel the thighs lengthen to the inner knees. As those inner thighs get wide and open, pressing your heels together, spread those toes. See if you can lengthen your fourth toe. Just make the fourth toe next to the fifth toe long. Widen your armpit chest now from the center to the sides. Drop the shoulders down away from the ears and feel that armpit chest lift on both the inhale and the exhale. Breathe deeply, everybody. Let your breath really roll freely through the body. Lift your knees up to center. Just bring your inner thighs together and squeeze your inner thighs together. Feet apart. So knees together, feet hip width apart. Squeeze your inner thighs. You can feel that area right up in the inner thigh area. Oh, I forgot you guys all have your straps. That's right. So if you have the strap on, take it off, and just bring your inner thighs together. So squeeze your inner thighs. Open your feet. Open your feet. So there you go. Open your feet. Squeeze your inner thighs together. See if you can that action right near your pubic bone. So feel the innermost top thighs squeezing together. See if you can lift your belly. Good. Let's gently press through the feet. Lift your hips, lift your buttocks, keep your inner thighs squeezing together. So squeeze your innermost thighs, press your heel down. So that doesn't necessarily mean lift your pelvis higher and higher. See if you can feel a sense of union, a sense of compromise between your inner thighs coming together, pelvis tucking in and under, the outer buttocks, cheeks drawing in. And then we press the feet down. That's it. Squeeze your inner thighs. Squeeze your inner thighs. You can feel that innermost top thigh area squeezing together, but at the same time, feel your outer buttocks, cheeks draw in and under. Press your feet to the floor. Good job, everybody. Scoop your pelvis, tuck your pelvis in and under. Tuck, tuck, tuck. All right. Let's slowly release your hips. So, Sergey, you didn't lift your hips up. No, it's too much. Okay, cool. All right, come on up, everybody. Just checking. Okay, let's just take that happy block off to the side for a moment. How's everybody doing here? Maybe we'll come on and just say hi to everybody. So this is not a pose that I typically teach because people run from it because of their knees, all right? So I'm going to do my best here again to show you. It's Virasana. We bring the knees together, feet wide. But you can see I'm hanging. There's no support underneath my sit bones, so I take a block. Some of you might even need a block and a blanket. And just have your strap nearby. Have your block nearby. So this would give you some additional height if you were to take a blanket underneath your sits bones, but be sure it's under both sits bones, like so. The ticket is you don't want to have any knee pain when we're starting, okay? So that's the ticket. So knees together, feet wide, and you're sitting on a block. Maybe a block and a blanket, exactly. Good. Second, so see if you can not have your knees necessarily rolling in so much. Just take your hands underneath your shins, like so, and lift your shin. So one at a time, and then do the other. I'm just trying to see your knees here, okay? And then take your sits bones and move the fleshy part away, like so. So you see how we're creating some length underneath the backs of the legs, right? So look at your knees. Take a look at your knees. So see if you can roll your knees so that they're not necessarily rolling so much in. Try and keep the tops of the thighs nice and parallel. Good. Let's take the hands underneath the bottoms of the feet and just lengthen the bottom of your foot. So you're stretching the bottom of your foot, pressing the back of that ankle down, and then doing the same with the other foot. Just take your hands to the tops of your ankles. See if you can press down the tops of your ankles. And think about lifting and scooping your pelvis in and under. So scoop your pelvis in and under. Good. So we linger here. When I go to class, we linger for hours at a stretch, all right? Next step. See if you can just take leg off the ground. Yes. Try to drop your shoulders so you're not using your upper body. You're just pressing that thigh and trying to create that resistance by lifting that thigh up. Exactly. Don't use your shoulders, don't use your neck. And think about tucking that right sits bone in and under. Tuck, tuck, tuck. Everybody try and lift your armpit chest. So lift your armpit chest, sit tall. Tuck the right sits bone in and under. Good. Now let's change sides. Just press down to the top of that left thigh. Just press right down and then think about lifting that leg. Think about lifting that leg, tucking that left sits bone in and under. Lift your belly. That left sits bone in and under. Scoop, scoop, scoop. See if you can lift that thigh. Lift it up. Scoop that left sits bone in and under. Try to lift your belly. So we're trying to create space here. Can y'all feel it? But we're also doing it through the whole front of the body. Top that left sits bone. So you're lifting that left knee if you can, left leg. Yeah, that's it. Tucking the left sits bone in and under. Tuck, tuck, tuck. Lift your belly. Try and lift and sit tall. Job, everybody. So this is new stuff, I know. So let's go over to that right side, push down through the thigh. Think about lifting that right leg, and then actually lift the leg. Sit tall, tuck your pelvis in and under. So tuck, tuck, tuck. You can see I'm almost shaking because I'm creating a little resistance. I'm trying to press down at the same time tuck to create space in the pelvic floor. Try not to use your shoulders. Yes, don't worry, we'll fix that in a moment. That's a good idea. Thank you. Give me a great thought. So tuck, tuck, tuck. Lift your belly. Try to sit tall. So this pose, Virasana, will save your knees. It will open your hips. By doing that, that is how it helps the knees. Can y'all feel something going on in here? Yeah? Beautiful. Happy long weekend. Okay, good job. So y'all have the resistance here. Okay, let's release. So if you need to straighten your legs because you're feeling too much tension in your knees, it's okay, but we're not quite there yet, I hope, because we just got here. Yeah, if you need to take a break, the best break would be to tuck the toes, downward dog. Y'all want to do that, you can, but I would really prefer Okay, everybody come into downward dog, and since we're here, see if you can widen through the back of your kneecaps from the center out to the sides. Roll your inner ankles out and press down through the outer heels, but feel those inner thighs drawing back. Feel those inner thighs drawing back. Drop your shoulders down. Roll the creases of your inner elbows forward. That's it. Lift your kneecaps. Lift your kneecaps up to your upper thighs. Look ridiculously happy from the inside out. It's a sign of enlightenment. Good. Press those heels, lift those kneecaps. And let's drop down, coming into Virasana. All right. So let's go again, because we released everything. It's good practice. So take your hand to lengthen the shin, the skin of the shin forward, and so on. So you're not necessarily really lifting the leg. You want to try and lengthen the skin, pulling it forward. Take your hands, open your sits bones. Good job. And then this time, let's take the happy strap. Probably should have. There we go. Just tighten your strap. Tighten your strap as much as you can. And now pull your thighs out. So sweet thing, take your strap a little higher up. Yes, exactly. So we're using the thighs. That's it. So if you need to make any adjustments again, feel free. We're trying to create space, so pulling the flesh away from the sits bones. And I like to feel my feet. So take your fingers and see if you can open and spread your toes and press down for the tops of your ankles. Squeeze your inner shoulder blades together, lift, and sit tall. So tuck your pelvis, tuck, 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 and sit tall. Pull your legs apart. That's it. So give it a little tug. That a girl. Good job. So you start to see how the inner voice speaks. Nice. So pull those legs apart. Tuck your pelvis in and under. Lift your belly, lift your armpit chest without poking your lower ribs out. So see if you can lift the armpit chest and then let those lower ribs drop in and down, in and down. Pull those legs apart. So squeeze your inner shoulder blades together. Draw your inner elbows together. Good. Lift, tuck, tuck, tuck. Pull your legs apart. Tuck, tuck, tuck. Pull the legs apart. Good. Tuck, tuck, tuck. Pull the legs apart. Let's release the hands, interlace the palms, thank you. Reach the arms up. So let's drop the shoulders down away from the ears. Tuck, tuck, tuck your pelvis, sit tall, lift your belly. So we continue lifting through the armpit chest. See if you can reach as high as you can, lifting through your index knuckles. Take your baby fingers down and back. Tuck, tuck, tuck your pelvis. Pull those legs apart. It's a little jingle there, isn't there? That's it. Drop your shoulders. So drop the shoulders down. That's it. Now see if you can just sit tall without lifting your shoulders at all. So do it from the legs and pelvis. Drop your lower ribs in. And see if you can, without lifting your lower ribs, lift your armpit chest. So do it from the legs. Nicely done. Very nicely done. Release your arms, take your hands behind your back, bring your thumbs together behind your back. Squeeze your inner shoulder blades, outer biceps back, outer upper biceps back. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, take your thumbs away, tuck your pelvis, pull your legs apart. Good. So pull those legs apart. Good job, everybody. Very nicely done. Let's release. Take your right arm up. Let's take the left hand to the right elbow. Let's take that right arm back. Drop the shoulder down. Good job. Pull your legs apart. Lift your belly. Lift the armpit chest. Drop the lower ribs in and down. So we want to lift the armpit chest from there. It's much harder. Because this is easy, right? So try to think about coming from down here and lengthening. Good. Let's take the left hand and just turn it and walk the back of that hand up. And then when you find your spot, press the back of that hand into the back of the body. Good job. So lift that right elbow up, up, up. It's an external rotation. Think about externally rotating that right elbow up from the shoulder. Pull your legs apart. Good job. Let's release. Thank God we only have two sides. Let's take the left arm up. So when we bring the right hand to that left elbow, we are externally rotating that upper bicep. Dropping the shoulder into its nice socket, its little home. Pull your legs apart. Lift your belly, drop your lower ribs down. Feel the armpit chest, lift from the pelvis. So lift your belly, lift everybody, lift your belly in towards the spine. Feel that external rotation in that left shoulder. As you reach and lengthen up through that left elbow, drop that left shoulder a little more, release the right hand back, walk that hand up. Just do your best if you can all see where I am. I have a few shoulder issues like many of us. So see if you can just press the back of that right hand into your back and then drop the shoulder. Lift the armpit chest. That's it. Breathe deeply. Lift your belly if you can. Tuck your pelvis, pull your legs apart. Looking ridiculously happy. So y'all know that when there is stillness, when you're in a place of stillness, this is when you resurrect and rejuvenate all these creative juices, these inspirations inside. So there's a lot going on in this moment when you're just here, being. Try not to do so much, see if you can let it be a happening. So there's a softening, an acceptance, a sense of surrender without letting go of all this effort. Good job, everybody. Let's release. Let's take the block. Bring the block behind. Oops. Just reach the arms up one more time. So lift and lengthen. Feel the sides of the body get tall. So do it by tucking your pelvis, lift your belly, pull your legs apart. Right hand back, left arm to the outer right thigh. Let's lift. So nice tall spine. Lifting that upper thoracic spine into extension as we gaze to the right. Pull your legs away from each other. Tuck your pelvis. Breathe if you can. Breathe deeply. Deep breaths. So tuck, tuck, tuck. Pull the legs apart. See if you can press down to the tops of your ankles. Good job, everybody. Breathe deeply. Let's release. Reach your arms up. Pull those legs apart as we remove the memory of that twist on that side. Right hand to the left leg, left arm back. So lift that upper thoracic spine tuck. That's it. Lift your belly. Lift the belly. That's it. Try not to lift from those ribs. Lift from the lowest part of the pelvic floor. Belly to the spine. Breathe deeply, everybody. Full body breaths. Yay, we're almost done. Good job. See if you can all look a little happier. All right. So feel the twist. Begin in that right sits bone. Tuck that right sits bone and lift your belly. Sit as tall as you can. Good job. Let's slowly release. Let's remove the strap. You can keep the strap actually. Let's take the strap. This is the day of the strap. Take the strap around the upper legs, like so. So that the strap is nice and tight. And let's take our downward dog. I'm just turning around. So open your hands, roll the creases of your inner elbows, tuck your toes. Let's take those feet, turning the feet so the outsides of the feet are parallel. And let's use the strap. Let's pull those legs apart. Feel your inner ankles start to roll out as you press as hard as you can through those outer heels. So this is tough. You've got to have that strap tight enough that you can create that sense of pulling the legs apart by rolling your inner ankles out and pressing hard through those outer heels. But feel your inner thighs drawing back. That's it. Good job. Don't worry so much. I just come into down dog. You're good. If the strap is giving you, an issue, just come into the pose. Don't worry about the strap. So drop your shoulders. And if you don't have a strap, it's very important to find those legs, because that's what the strap does, is see how much easier it is to hold the pose, everybody? Because the legs are working so much harder right away. So the more the legs work in downward dog, the longer you can hold the pose. See if you can roll your inner ankles out, press those heels down. Lift your hips up, lift your knees up. Shoulders down away from the ears. Good. So shoulders away from the ears. Creases of the inner elbows up. That's it. Break that strap, everybody. So use those legs. See what's happening? See how it liberates the upper body? The more you use the legs, the less you use the upper body. We don't want all the work in the upper body, because the legs are stronger muscle groups. They're going to be able to hold the pose longer if you keep the action there. Very nicely done. Let's walk the hands to the feet. So if you need your blocks, let's turn the feet in. So we're using the strap still for our forward fold Uttanasana. Good job. So if you need your blocks, get your blocks out. If you don't need your blocks, and you can bring your hands to the floor, great. But first thing is, those outer feet are parallel, right, everybody? Feel those inner thighs draw back and in. But then let's roll those inner ankles out and press hard to those outer heels. So it's again the same action. We're pulling those outer thighs away from each other. It's a forward fold, so hips on top of the knees, that a girl. So if you're super, super tight, exactly, guys, don't, believe me, I've had to use a chair on many occasions in a workshop. So this would be the example. If you could not keep your legs straight, then you need to get the legs straight, number one, and use a chair. There's another way to do it, right? Here we are. The legs are straight, meaning the knees are not bent. Roll your inner ankles out. Press hard to those outer heels. Good job, everybody. Lift your kneecaps up, up, up. So we want the hips on top of the knees. The alignment of the joints is essential. Lift your right kneecap. Pull it up to the upper thigh. Lift the left kneecap. Pull the left kneecap up to the upper thigh. Very nicely done. Let's slowly come up. Hands to the hips. Good job, everybody. Hey, nicely done. All right, let's take the happy strap off. And let's resume back where we were, which was Virasana. So let's come on back down to Virasana. And this is a good time. If you sort of felt your knees a little, maybe you need a little more height, okay? Here's another way to create. You can pull that blanket right up to the shins, like so. That is a huge help. For you, I'm thinking, if you have knee problems, it helps to open the backs of the knees. There's many different ways to create a sense of being able to linger. Okay, that's the important part, is we are lingering in these poses. So again, just take the hands and move the fleshy part. And let's bring the block forward. Take your right leg forward. So Triangupada Paschimottanasana. That's it. So, Mr. Surge, I would like both your sits bones supported on the same axis. Yeah. So if you wanted to turn the bolster around this way, at the very least, good. So pull that fleshy part back, and let's reach through the heel. Push through the heel. That's it. Good. So again, we want to lift the belly up, lift the kneecap up to the belly. Reach through the heel, make that right leg longer and longer. So the good news is, when we do these things over and over again, then all of a sudden you just can pop into something. You kind of know, oh, because I have gone to so many workshops over the years, I know my height, and I just pop. You know, some of y'all could be super, super flexible, and you're down here. But we have places to go while we're here, so I just thought we might all stay together, right? But if you felt like this was a happy place for you, you can come down here as well. But flex that foot. Flex the foot. So reach through your Achilles of that right heel. Go right there, sweetie. You needing more height?
It's just very awkward.
Yes. So maybe move that blanket. Just get that blanket up. Yeah, move the blanket. Right away. And y'all are just reaching through that heel, lifting your kneecap. So first of all, there we go. That's it. One more. So, you know what? Pop right off so I can hold it. Let's see. Quietly suffering. That's okay too. Because my teacher says suffering is a choice. So if you choose to suffer, enjoy it. That's what he said. So don't suffer, it's really the message, right? So let's, if you need a strap, have a strap nearby. This would be how we would use the happy strap if we could not reach the feet. Let's just reach forward here. That's it. Try and take 2 hands though. 2 hands, yes, exactly. It's harder, isn't it? So just stay to the body, 2 hands. Reach through the heel. So you feel how the hip almost wants to stick out because it's tight. See if you can feel that sense of tucking it in under, and that's it. Just so next time maybe sit higher. Sit higher. Even on, yeah. So height is your friend. The higher you go, you don't want to feel too much knee pain. And if you have knee pain, notice that cap. My teacher has taught us how to move it up and down and from side to side when the leg is lax. And you will notice maybe the kneecap doesn't go in one direction in particular. So you need to just sort of gently over time get that flexibility back. You can often tell by the backs of the kneecap that the ligaments are too close together. So that's why we're opening the hips. So here we are. And you can have this too, sweet thing. That's just as fine too. But you may even feel the knee even still, you know? Okay. And you know, there's lots of things that we can do. You can, again, if that knee is bent in the back and you're feeling knee pain, you can create space in the ligament. You can do this. This may help, it may not. To open, you can put it lengthwise, so you need to play, but the message is to not suffer. Because there's a way to find a happy place, right? Because she did very well. It took her a moment, but that's it. So here we are. Take your right hand back and your left arm to your outer right foot. Reach through that heel. Lift your belly. Make that right leg longer and longer. So sweet thing, sit higher if you feel any knee pain. Sit higher. Okay, there we go. Then let's slowly lift back up. And yes, we will all need the strap now. This is so much fun. Let's take the strap with 2 hands, everybody. 2 hands. We lift the leg, elbows bent to the outsides of the body. Elbows bent, yes. So you need to either close the loop or open the loop. One of the two, that's it. So 2 hands. Okay, sweet thing. Take the strap. 2 hands. That would go. Yes. And the message now is, see how you have this tendency to, it's called riding the horse. You want to have light fingers. Because this is where we go with the pose in a moment. I'll show you. I'm not quite there yet. So is everybody feeling their hip yet? So the leg must be straight, everybody. The leg must be straight, elbows to the outsides of the body. And I understand how difficult this is. Straight leg, straight leg, straight leg. Yes, so that goes into the hip. Now lift your belly, lift your chest. Exactly. Right? Because you want the leg working. You want the work going into the hip, the opening of the hip, right? That's where we are. Right? Yes, the leg is working, right? But the kneecap must be lifting. The leg must not be bent. The chest must be lifting. And we're looking ridiculously happy. Because we're opening our hips in the most delightful fashion. Right? Alright, just for fun. See if you can take your hands and walk your hands up like so. So forehead to the shin, legs straight, shoulders down, lift. One day, right? One day. You'll be surprised. Keep going. That's it. Good. Take the right leg in. Nicely done. Let's change sides. It's fun, isn't it? It really is. Bring your left leg forward. So if you were hypermobile in the back of that leg, you might need to place something underneath the back of the thigh, like so. Anybody who's super hypermobile, and you were going into the back of those ligaments, these ligaments don't stretch. They're meant to limit. So make that left leg long, lift the left kneecap, lift the left kneecap, lift the left kneecap. There we go. Good. And if you find that there's too much pressure when you're on the ankle, you could always put a blanket underneath here so that that foot is waterfalling over right there next time. So each time you'll get better and better at it. And then you'll pop into it and someone else will be struggling. Someone else. Usually it's me. So lift that left kneecap. Try and join the muscles of the kneecap up to the upper thigh. That's it. Lift the belly. And let's fold forward here. So lift your chest, armpit chest forward, so that we come from the hinge in the hip, not the upper spine. Lift your chest, lift your chest. Lift and lengthen the chest. Make that left leg long. Reach through and lengthen that left Achilles. Lengthen that left Achilles. Lift that left kneecap. See if you can join it and make friends with the upper thigh. There's a union there, right? See if you can join those two elements together. It's hard to do, but see if you can do it. Because there's quadricep muscles. So it takes time. See if you can join them together. Join the muscles of that left quadricep area, right in here. Join them, lifting the kneecap to the thigh. Lift your belly. Right hand to the outer left foot and just take your left leg arm back. Good. Breathe deeply, everybody. Lift your belly. So drop the left hip down and then lift the armpit chest. Good. So that's lengthening your spinal column, working from the sides. Lifting the belly, working from the front as you lift the armpit chest. See if you can lift your back ribs as well. Good job. Let's release. Just fold forward, just for a moment. Good. And slowly release. And now let's take the happy strap around the ball of the left foot. So we don't want this. We need to lift the spine into that length of extension, elbows to the outsides of the body, and then straighten the left leg. So that's the hard part, is to straighten the leg. So we want the element of gravity working and dropping that left hip down as we make the left leg longer and longer, lifting that left leg, lifting that left shin to the forehead. Karanchasana. Lift your belly. So again, it comes from a hinge. Right here. Lift the belly. Straighten the leg. Everybody straighten the leg. Lift your left kneecap. So this stuff looks really easy, but it's highly effective. The icing on the cake is you might even get some very nice shapely looking legs. But lengthen that left leg. The real icing on the cake is you save your hips. You're saving that left hip. So lift the chest. Breathe deeply, lift the chest. Exactly. Good job. Slowly release. And let's take that left under. We're just coming up into a forward bend. So tuck your toes in and under. And let's come on up here, just for a moment. And take your happy chair. Like so. Just come to your side and bring your left foot onto the joint. So this can be a bench. You do this at home, or you do this outside and you're a runner. This is a great stretch to do prior to running and after. So have the left heel lined up on the axis of the right foot, the right toe is not crossing. So it's going to be behind. Have that toe facing forward. Try to stack your joints best you can. And let's reach the arms up. Just point your index fingers as you interlace your fingers and lift your right kneecap up. So lift your right kneecap. So you want to be meticulous with the pointing of that right foot if you can. That's it. So come back. Come back. Better. Good. So don't tilt forward. We want to stack the hips above the knee and then lift the kneecap. That's the action. Don't run from the work. Try to lift your right kneecap up. So just keep in mind, this may seem like tedious work, but you cannot walk without your knees. And a lot of people develop knee issues when they have hip issues. So think about lifting your right kneecap up, 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 up. Lift it up. So you should start to feel the element of weight coming into the heel. If you do not, bring your right foot forward. Step your right foot forward. Good. Now come back. See the work? You see the work? So you have to find a compromise. Because you need to feel the weight really drop into the heel of that standing leg. And so we're lifting that right kneecap up, all right? So this is the first cue and the last cue. Lift the kneecap. Feel that outer right buttocks cheek drawing in and under as the thigh draws back. As the thigh wraps tightly around the femur bone. Let's hinge forward. Just take your hands behind the back of that right thigh. Press that thigh into your hands. So this is an opportunity to stack your joints. To look and align the joints, the hip on top of the knee. If you see your hip is behind, try to bring the weight forward. And then use the hands to create some stability for yourself so you can start to find some new muscle memory in your body. So we're folding forward, pressing that thigh, finding the alignment. So see if you can roll your inner right ankle out to open your right knee so that that right knee is not rolling in and we are not collapsing through that inner right ankle. So once the knee is nice and neutral, feel the kneecap lift, press the back of that thigh into the hands, and hinge from your hip. Breathe deeply. So lifting that kneecap up, feeling that outer right buttocks cheek tuck in and under, folding forward. Good job, everybody. So lift your belly. See if you can lift your belly up and into your spine. Very nicely done. Let's release the hands. Come on up. Take your hands to your elbows. Draw your outer elbows away from each other. Tuck your pelvis. Lift your right kneecap. That's it. Lift that right kneecap. And now see if you can start to come up onto the ball of that foot, depending on whatever size you are. Good. So all the work comes from the standing leg. Try to draw those outer armpits away from each other. Lift the leg. Good. Let's change the clasp of the hands to the elbows. So draw those outer arms away from each other. Lift that right kneecap. Lift the leg. Good job, everybody. Good. Let's lift that leg just for fun. Take your hand and bring your left foot to your inner right thigh. Reach your arms up. Tuck your pelvis, drop that left hip, and point that left knee down. So drop the left hip, tuck the pelvis, lifting that right kneecap. Let's reach the arms up. And now here comes a test of the senses. So if you can, in these next moments, focus on the spot at Drishti in the room. Focus, focus, focus. And when you feel completely still inside, see if you can close your eyes. Very nicely done. So if you are feeling agitated in your day, doing a balance pose like this can really create a nice centering for the mind. It really takes the mind right to a stillness. Let's point the left knee forward. So you can take that left hand if you want it and just straighten it. Or you can lift it. Whichever you like. Alright, and then release. Good job. Good job, everybody. So we'll come back to the forward bend in a second, but let's do that other side. Good. Just so I can see you all. So remember, when you take that foot out, make sure that you haven't got that left foot forward of the right heel, or vice versa. Make sure there's enough space, and then look for that stacking of the joints. Let's reach the arms up and lift that left kneecap. So lift that left kneecap. So we want to resist bringing the pelvis forward. So everybody, see if you can take your hips back. Take your hips back. That's better. Right? The weight should be coming into the heel a whole lot, especially if you're lifting your left kneecap up. All the weight should be just towering through that left heel. Lift that left kneecap. Lift, lift, lift it up to the upper thigh. See if you can feel the tallness inside. That's all of your core muscles working to hold that spine up into extension. We never want to take for granted being able to reach those arms up. See if you can straighten your arms and lift your elbows up to your wrists. See if you can draw your elbows down to your shoulders. And then lengthen your hands up. Or straighten your arms, your choice. Lift that left kneecap. Lift, lift, lift. You feel how that heel is really grounding? Good job. Let's fold forward. Take the hands behind the back of that left thigh. Press that thigh into your hands. So if your hips are way behind, bring the weight forward and then use the resistance of pressing the thigh into the hands to create that stability. Breathe deeply, full body breaths. soften where you feel some place of binding. Posture and aligning the joints as anything. We are working from that left standing leg. See if you can start to, without losing any movement, come up onto the foot, the ball of the foot, and just explore lifting that left kneecap and then lifting the foot. Lift the left kneecap, the foot. Drawing those outer armpits away from each other. Opening those upper arms. Lift that left kneecap. Let's change the length of the ends to the elbows. Good. Try to lift. It's a lot of work because we've been in pretty much a back bend the whole time. Lots of work. Okay. Let's see if we can lift and just take that hand to the foot and place that right foot to your inner left thigh. Point that right knee, drop that right hip, tuck the pelvis, lift the kneecap of the left standing leg, and let's come into Vrikshasana. So point that right knee, lift your belly, point that right knee. So think about pointing that right knee. And then let's find that drishti, that super still spot, and stare like that. So plant that sight, and then when you feel ready, close your eyes. Point that right knee. Let's bring that right knee forward. So if you can either take the foot and straighten the leg, or lift the leg. And then let's release. Good job, everybody. Let's just turn your chair forward. Make sure it's on the mat. And here we come. So I'm not sure whether you'll agree whether this is a foot opener. It's supposed to be a hip opener. You may have seen it before. You can do it from much lower down, but I find it's easier to balance from here. So let me demonstrate. The ticket is to get the baby toes together. See how hard this is? But I haven't brought my weight off the chair at all yet. See, I'm just trying to do that, just to explore that. So feet together. So I'm going to come out now and just demonstrate. So it takes a little bit of work, all right? I'm going to use a little bit of everything here. I'm trying to get these feet together, baby toes together, and then sit behind your heels. So try a couple of times. That was not very comfortable for me either. And here we go. So try toes. No, honey, toes. Open your toes. Open your toes. That's it. Open your toes. You've got to have the toes open first. So maybe start like this. If you cannot do one, just do two. One at a time. So see how I've got my toes open? Turn the whole foot out. And then come down one at a time. We'll be doing one at a time. Be sure you do the other side. And then we'll come back to the whole thing again. So it's that's it. So you see the beauty is you can really control how much weight you come by the chair. If you come down and use your blocks, you really kind of, it's a little harder, I think. Okay, so, now let's try again. So try again. It's new to you guys. Try and get your baby toes together, feet together, sit behind your heels. I know. But you see how it opens the hips and the feet? So the space between the fourth and the fifth toe is a direct link into the groin. So those toes are a pretty good indication of how your hips are. Mr. Iyengar says that a squat is a good indication of how your pelvis is. So we might do a squat in a minute. Just want you all just to suffer a little bit here and enjoy it. Enjoy the suffering. Try to drop your hips down. All right, let's come on up. And sit right back in your chair. So if you were to walk around, just walk around, you'll see how you connect so differently to the floor. Your feet, you'll feel all of the little pathologies of your feet. Quite interesting. You'll feel much more rooted. Much more grounded. Let's come in to sit in the chair here. Sit right back in your chair. Take your feet to your inner chair legs, and that's full forward. So you have to sit as far back as you can. And see if you can take the rung. If you can't, just do your best. You can always take a strap and link it around the back of that. So drop your hips, drop your buttocks. Try and drop your buttocks and your sits bones down. Let's move the chair off to the side. Now let's bring our bolster. It's approximately going to be distance from the wall will be approximately the length of your legs, roughly. And then let's press this happy blanket with the hard edge in. Strap nearby, and then take a look. I'm just coming down, and I need to adjust slightly here, and then press my, you know what, I think we're going to take the blocks, because you guys are very tight, this is going to help. So I apologize. Let's take the blocks like so, together. This will help a little bit. This will help a lot. And let's, so the center of the buttocks is right on the bolster, and we're pressing the heels to the blocks. And here we are. So slightly lower down from the lower back is the sacrum. And that's where you want to have the weight, is right in the center of the sacrum on the bolster. Everybody's okay here? Yep. So everybody's got their strap. Good. And you can see how the blanket is lifting the upper chest. We're just pressing the heels into the blocks. If you can feel your kneecaps and your kneecaps lifting and your toes lifting. Press your heels. So if you have neck issues, try to lift that armpit chest on both your inhale and your exhale. Let's draw the right thigh in towards us. So just draw your right thigh in. Press your left heel. Lift your left kneecap. And now take your hands around the back of that right thigh. Draw the thigh a little closer to the chest. Tuck the right side of the pelvis. Lengthen the left leg. Lift through that left kneecap as you tuck the right side of the pelvis in and under. Drop your shoulders down. Let your right hip be heavy. Tucking that right sits bone in and under. So there's a union of pressing through the left and tucking the right. Now let's take the happy strap and see if you can, actually before we do that, because we're taking that right foot from the ankle up to that left hip. And if you cannot grab your right foot, this is where you would grab the strap and just take that happy loop around that right foot ankle. You couldn't hang on to it. So you have a nice loop here. You can hold it like so, if you could not grab the foot. And then drop that right knee down, pointing that right knee to the wall if you can. Breathe deeply, everybody. Full body breaths. So drop that left thigh, lift that left kneecap. Here too long. We've already done some stuff that can create sensation in the knees. But these type of movements are very important for the pelvic floor, for the hips. Good. So let's now take that loop. Not on the foot, everybody have that loop. And then straighten the leg and take your hands overhead if you can. Right overhead and straighten that leg. So the importance is that we want to let that right hip drop down and reach up through that right heel. And we're pulling that right leg almost away from us towards the wall. Pressing through that left heel. So pull your right hip to the wall, everybody. Pull that right hip to the wall. Let the hips be heavy. Good. See if you can bring your hands to the floor. job, everybody. So let that hip be heavy and reach through that right heel one more time. Good. Let's take the left foot into the strap. And now let's straighten the right leg and bring that left ankle up as high as you can to that right hip. And then drop the left knee down. Pointing that left knee to the wall. So the higher this left foot, obviously the better. And you want to imagine almost standing on that right leg. So push out through that right heel, lift that right kneecap. Breathe deeply, everybody, full body breaths. Point that left knee, drop that right thigh. That right leg just a little longer. So just check and see, is your right kneecap lifting? Is your right kneecap lifting up to the upper thigh? Breathe deeply, everybody. Try to breathe into your pelvis, right into that hip area. Good. Let's gently release, and we're straightening that left leg, lengthening the strap, taking the hands overhead. If you've lost your way, you can reposition yourself. And straighten that left leg. Number one, we want to straighten the left leg. Just do your best. Pressing through that right heel. Pull that left leg towards the wall. So we're pulling that left leg away from us. Feeling that sense of tucking that outer left buttocks to in. Let your left hip be heavy. Drop it down. Let the left hip be heavy. Drop it down. And then reach and lengthen through the left heel. Try and tuck your pelvis a little, scooping the pelvis in and under. Good job, everybody. Let's bring the right foot to meet the left, inside the strap. Just let go of the end of the strap, and now pull your feet apart with your legs in the air. Pull your feet apart, legs in the air, that's it. Open and spread your toes. So you can make your legs longer and longer. Pull your legs apart. Release the strap, everybody bend your legs. And gently push yourself backwards and just bring your feet onto the bolster and your heels together, knees wide. And let's press those heels. Tuck your pelvis if you can. Scoop your pelvis in and under. Tuck your pelvis. See if you can press your right heel into your left heel. Press, press, press. And now press your left heel into your right heel. Press, press, press. Now press both heels together, tuck your pelvis, lift your belly. Now open and spread your toes as wide as you can, keeping the toe knuckles together. So pressing your toe knuckles together, open and spread your toes. Try and draw your toes to your shins. So everybody spread your toes, tuck your pelvis, press your heels. And then soften the body without letting go of the effort. Let's bring the feet, by lifting the knee, bring your feet to the bolster and lift your knees up. Just move your blanket and take that blanket behind the back of your head. Draw your knees into your chest, and let's just take a moment and rock from side to side here. And now open the arms out to the T position and just drop your knees to the left. Let's take the left hand on top of the right thigh and lift your chest. Lift the chest as you knees to the right. Squeeze your inner thighs together. So squeeze those thighs, lift your belly. Let's slowly release that left arm and lift your knees up through center to the right. Take your right hand on top of the left thigh this time. Squeeze those inner thighs together. And gently gaze to your left if you can. Slowly release, and just lift your knees back up and take your hands overhead. Straighten your legs just to release the memory of the twist. Just taking a stretch here. Pressing the backs of my thighs down on top of the bolster. You can feel a sense of tucking your pelvis, creating some length. options for Shavasana today. One is to simply bring your legs on top of the chair like so. Knees wide, feet together. So the whole leg is completely supported by your shoulders, like so. So actually that's just all, for the most part, standard. If you feel you have a kyphosis in the upper spine, then this is the second alternative. If you feel that that pose is what you would like, then please feel Knees wide, feet together, go underneath the back of the head. So for you, my dear man, you might consider this one. This would be the quarter round. This helps to leave a lasting impression in the spine by lifting the upper thoracic spine. And this here. So this is how it would go. We'll have the blanket, definitely, so that your head should go not a little bit. So nice and flat. And then we take this like so. And here we are. Knees wide, feet together. Now the number one thing with the quarter round is that the shoulders must be on the ground. They cannot be flying high. And like so. Knees apart, feet together. And over time, this will lift that upper thoracic spine. And then arms. So tuck your shoulder blades, the arms are in the cactus position. Elbows at a roughly 90-degree angle. This is if you've got the quarter round. If you don't, your shoulders are just tucking in and under in the Shavasana. Dana, honey, if you need my help, let me know. So the shoulders are on the ground, they're not flying high. There must be weight in the shoulders. Is the quarter round in the middle of your back? See the upper thoracic spine? Just like so. You got it like this, honey? Arms up and over. Okay. Yeah, something's wrong because your blanket is not next to the bolster. after we've had a long practice. Shavasana is the only pose that all the systems seem to agree on. Chair can help a great deal to release the back, the lower lumbar area, especially if we've been working on the hips. Sometimes it can aggravate the sciatica area. Sometimes it can aggravate the neck. Everybody, try and soften the body now. Try and accept where you are, letting the body release. So if you're practicing the quarter round at home, the longer you linger, obviously the more there's a lasting impression left, lifting that upper thoracic spine. But if you're in Shavasana, we're going to get ready to come out. To lay flat for a moment, please feel free. So just taking your legs off the chair. And you can just see this just coming, laying flat for a moment, just so that all of the vital signs return back to neutral. You can feel that this is different. To lay here as long as you like. It is the long weekend.